Would you recognize a victim of human trafficking if you saw them? A child begging on the street, a laborer working on a farm, or a woman by a car? Human trafficking is a form of modern slavery and is estimated to generate $150 billion annually. It is based on the exploitation of persons for forced labor, sexual services, slavery, or even the removal of organs. Human trafficking can impact us in ways we might not even realize. Victims of trafficking may be involved in growing the food we eat, stitching the clothes we wear, or even making the bricks used to build our homes. The International Labour Organization estimates that in 2016, over 40 million people worldwide were victims of forced labor or forced marriages. This includes 16 million exploited for domestic work, construction, or agriculture, and 4.8 million people in forced sexual exploitation. Human trafficking disproportionately affects women and girls, who account for 72% of all detected victims of trafficking. But in cases of trafficking for sexual exploitation, they make up 94% of all detected victims. Under international law, trafficking in persons is defined as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of the threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, of abduction, of fraud, of deception, of the abuse of power, or of a position of vulnerability, or of the giving or receiving of payments or benefits to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. Exploitation shall include at a minimum the exploitation of the prostitution of others or other forms of sexual exploitation, forced labor or services, slavery or practices similar to slavery, servitude, or the removal of organs. This definition is broad and is intended to capture all elements of the human trafficking process. Importantly, human trafficking can occur both within a country as well as across international borders. To better understand this definition, we can break it down into three ingredients: actions, means, and the purpose involved. Through this breakdown, we can understand trafficker, for example, would undertake the action of transporting a person by means of using force or deception for the purpose of prostitution or other forms of sexual exploitation. It is important to note that even where a person consents to the intended exploitation, this will be irrelevant when any of the means are used by the trafficker.